Hi everyone, this is Dr. Nitin Chhoda with Ignition Time and welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for being a viewer. Thank you so much for being a subscriber. I really appreciate you. Your vote of confidence in me and my channel is you simply touching the like button, you tapping the like button, you igniting the like button. Remember, this channel is Ignition Time. Again, your vote of confidence in us is simply clicking like and also subscribing. If you're not a subscriber yet, please consider subscribing and please enable the notifications button so you get instant updates from us about breaking news like this that impacts your financial future. Let's just jump right in. In this video, I'll talk to you about why it could take 2 weeks for you to get stimulus, even if the two sides, even if House Speaker Nancy Pelosi and US Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin come to an agreement today. Keep in mind there are 25 days until election day, and both sides need a deal in order to be able to garner more public support, in order to be able to garner more votes, because the fact is they need your vote. Both sides have stakes in this negotiation, but you know what? It's very difficult to predict the underlying motivations on both sides. I have done another video on what could potentially, just potentially, be a smoke and mirrors situation, potentially be a situation where all this might be one big game. So I definitely want you to check out that video as well. But in this video, I want to focus on why it could take 2 weeks for you to get stimulus money, even if House Speaker Pelosi and US Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin strike a deal today. Let me be clear about this. Here's what needs to happen. Number one, both sides need to come to a consensus. So the two sides have to come together on the top line number. The two sides have to come together on a consensus for state and local aid. Keep in mind that the administration has said that the Democrats want aid for poorly run democratic states, and the House Speaker Pelosi has basically said that the administration is not looking after our heroes. So the Democrats want $436 billion. The Republicans have come up to $250 billion. So they're only apart by $186 billion, which in the grand scheme of things is not that much money in order to be able to sabotage or in order to be able to fall apart on a large deal, because we're talking help for millions of our fellow Americans. We're not just talking $1,200 stimulus checks, we're talking unemployment benefits as well, in addition to aid for schools, in addition to aid for all, a whole bunch of other things that are necessary for the continued recovery of the economy, because many jobs are being lost as we speak. Job losses in Amtrak, job losses at Disney, job losses at all the airlines. So the situation is indeed getting dire, because this crisis has dragged on for much longer than any of us could be anticipated. So number one, they have to come together on a top line number, and they have to agree to the legislative language within the bill. Once that happens, they need to be able to draft the bill. So step one is draft the bill, and this could, I've mentioned before that this could take a day or two, but latest estimates from Politico suggest that this could take 3 days or so at absolute best. So even if they come to an agreement, so step one, draft the bill. 3 days. Okay, this is an estimate. So step one, draft the bill. 3 days. And I just want to be clear, there are major policy differences, so drafting is definitely going to be a hassle. Some indications have suggested that they were already at the drafting stage, because Speaker Pelosi was going back and forth with US Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin on the language until the president stepped in 48 hours ago and essentially called off the negotiations. So I'm sure we lost 2 days in what could have been 2 days in progress on the drafting of the bill. So that's what I believe. But again, step one, draft the bill. 3 days. Step two, they have to release the bill. Okay, so again, step one, draft the bill. 3 days. Step two, they have to release the bill, and the bill is going to have to sort of sit out in the ether for a day or two, because at that point the House and the Senate have to weigh in on the bill. So then step three is the Democrats vote on it. In other words, House Speaker Pelosi has to take this bill. Step three, Democrats vote on it. House Speaker Pelosi has to take this bill to House Democrats. They have to vote on it, and that could take a day to 2 days. Step four, the Senate has to debate on it and vote on it. So step four, the Senate has to vote on it. Could take a day to as long as 3 days. And Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell has to, get. And by the way, this will involve the Democrats and the Republicans coming back in session. Remember, they need 24 hours advance notice to come back in session. Not to mention that many Republican senators, 3 Republican senators at this point in time that we know of, have tested positive for COVID. So there's that. So it'll take at least 3 days to pass this bill in the House, and it'll take 1 week to pass it in the Senate, according to estimates from Politico. So just keep in mind, when I mentioned step three, House voting on it, that could take 3 days. House voting on it 3 days. Step four, Senate voting on it 1 week. Senate voting on it 1 week. So, we're talking about a 2 week process at a minimum, to pass a deal that is not even yet wrapped up. Not to mention that we have the SCOTUS nomination, not to mention we have some controversy floating around the second and the third presidential debates and the president's health. The president was actually on Hannity last night, and he was heard clearing his throat, and hopefully the president is doing well. But I do think that the president has not 100% recovered yet, and the 7 to 10 day mark, which is actually where the president could potentially be right now. We don't know when the president first tested positive. Because there have been some conflicting reports about that. So we have to keep an eye on the health of the president. Too many things swirling around, but I do want my viewers and subscribers to understand, if there are any channels out there that suggest stimulus approved, well, first of all, it's not approved. It's not a done deal until the president signs. That's point number one. Point number two, even if an agreement is struck today, it'll be a minimum of 2 weeks, to pass the deal. And by the way, after the deal is passed, it'll take the treasury a few days to distribute the money. It could even take longer. You know how long the first stimulus check took. You know how much of a delay that was. So the second stimulus check will be faster because the treasury has learned from all the mistakes and all the issues. And by the way, if the treasury has your electronic deposit information on file, the money will come faster. But it'll take 2 weeks to pass the bill. 2 weeks to pass the bill, and then after that it could take a few days or a few weeks to distribute the money. So and each day that goes by, becomes harder and harder for us to pass new legislation, because everyone's now starting to focus on, well, when I say everyone, I mean the Republicans are starting to focus on the SCOTUS nomination, Judge Amy Coney Barrett becoming Justice Amy Coney Barrett, and the Democrats are the senators are going to focus on re-election, because keep in mind, in the November election we have the presidential election. We have 35 Senate seats that are up for re-election, out of which 23 seats are Republican and 12 seats are Democrat, and then we have over 400 House seats that are up for re-election. And what Democrats are going to try and do is take control of the Senate and the presidency, and there are a lot of analysts predicting a blue wave, but you never know what's going to happen. We could get a surprise on election day. There are talks that the election day could turn into election week. I'm fairly confident about a result on election night, because I'm hoping that we have a decisive outcome to the election, because no one likes uncertainty, and that will also play a role in stimulus negotiations if the stimulus doesn't happen prior to the election. A lot of things up in the air right now. Things are changing very quickly. My goal is to give you news as it comes in. Thank you so much. I'll give you news as it comes in. So please make sure you click subscribe. You enable notifications. Also, again, please gently tap the like button. Please ignite the like button, and that'll be your vote of confidence in me. That's it, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Dr. Nitin Chhoda with Ignition Time. If you don't know anything about me, please check out my video. I have the fortune, the honor, the privilege of living the American dream. I want to help you live your American dream. We release videos at 2 p.m. East Coast time most days of the week. That's 2 p.m. East Coast time most days of the week. So please make sure you click like, you subscribe, you enable notifications so you can get instant updates from our channel going forward. Sometimes YouTube doesn't release updates in real time, doesn't release notifications in real time. So make sure you bookmark youtube.com/ignition time. That's youtube.com/ignition time. This way you can come to the homepage of our channel and watch the videos at any point in time that you want. So you have that flexibility. We release videos again at 2 p.m. East Coast time most days of the week. Please get your cell phone out, send a text message with the word ignition or with the word time to 70,000. That's 70000, and then you'll get added to our SMS alerts list. You can also get added to our email list. Go to ignitiontime.com/alerts. That's ignitiontime.com/alerts. You will get added to our email list. You can opt out of the SMS list or the email list at any point in time. No worries about that. Now keep in mind that you can follow us on Instagram. Our Instagram handle is ignition_time. We release exclusive content. You're going to love it on Instagram. So make sure to follow us on Instagram. You can also follow us on Twitter. Our Twitter handle is also ignition_time. You'll get breaking news and alerts from us on Twitter. So this way you're not, you can follow us in real time. Once again, we release videos at 2 p.m. East Coast time most days of the week. Your vote of confidence in me and my team is you clicking subscribe, you enabling notifications, and you clicking the like button. Just gently touch that like button. Gently ignite that like button. That is your vote of confidence in ignition time. Just ignite that like button for me. Gently tap it. Do it right now. I would really appreciate that. That's all I ask for. Thank you so much. I'll help you keep up with all this, with this news in this crazy time. I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next episode of Ignition Time. Take care. Bye.